What we really needed was something that was quick, simple and easy to use. We were having a lot of students who were requesting digital certificates. We would not offer digital certificates to students. There was no such thing. They had to have hard copies. They had to either come and pick it up from us or we had to post it certified to them. Obviously, lots of problems that can happen as a result of that, right? Things getting lost, things, being ripped in the post, things being folded, wrong addresses. We almost in some way, shape or form became the return address for the Institute, where everything that got sent out that was wrong came back to us to fix, right? So there were a lot of reasons. Again, there was some discussion around the sustainability factors that could be gained out of a digital situation. No paper, no printing, less energy, less cost. Obviously, there's a cost involved with the service, but we're fine with that. Is the best way to sum it up. But basically, it was just about moving to a modern time. In our case, what happened during the 2 years of COVID was a real trigger. We just had to adapt and pivot as quickly as possible from students having to come onto campus to collect their certification to sending stuff out. And so therefore we saw an exponential increase in our costs. Look, the best way to sum it up is for me to issue a testama and an official academic transcript for a bachelor's qualification was costing me around about $25 if I included labour costs and printing costs and all the rest of that. And the introduction of My Equals has certainly significantly decreased that. I just think they wanted the paper. They wanted a digital version that they could use whichever way they wanted to use it. Right, whether that was to provide to another employer, to provide to another college, if they were going on to further study. My department, so the Registrar's department here, has obviously the awarding department in it, but I also have my own office, and my office was dealing with a lot of verification requests. A student goes overseas, they go to America, they want to become a nurse, they've got to submit their paperwork, they've got to get certified copies, it comes back, it's got to be requested. We don't do any of that now. It's all done through My Equals, yeah? It's accepted by the big verifiers. If a student was a pre-My Equals student, we charge them a fee to basically put their certificates up on My Equals, but then they share it and it's accepted by that third party. There's none of this. It used to take up to 4 to 6 weeks for us to verify stuff, send it overseas, certified post. That the receiving person would have to check it. They'd come back to us with questions. It's all instantaneous now. We load it up and within, we load up twice a day. So anytime within 12 hours, a student's got it and can share it and can do whatever they want with it. It's instantaneous. It's pretty amazing how, a student can be awarded today and by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, they've had it sent to them. They've been able to access it online and they've been able to share it with whoever they want to share it with. And it's been accepted by so many different areas, like the colleges all accepted in Australia now. We actually expect it. We have a number of qualifications in this country where a student needs to do some pre-work before they're able to go out on placement, whether that's in a hospital or in a childcare centre or in an aged care centre or wherever. So they have to have some prerequisites they must complete. And so one of those, especially in that health space, is first aid. So a student must be able to do first aid before they're even allowed to go into that space, right? Absolutely. And we use a third party program that's owned by the state government to manage placement. and students are required to basically upload their documentation in place, right? And a student basically uploaded a fraudulent, what we call a statement of attainment, a fraudulent statement of attainment that was our statement of attainment, where one of the teachers who was looking at trying to organise the placement said, I know this student hasn't passed this unit, so how did they get the document? And so we were able to compare what was produced versus what we normally produce, and identify that it was a fraudulent document. And we've now changed our policy and procedure so that when it comes to this sort of situation, if they are uploading our document, they must share the document with us first before we do it. And again, the share comes through MyEquals. It is not a scanned document that is accepted. Yeah. The document must be shared through MyEquals, where we will only accept that as the verified document. That means we have issued the document to you. Yeah. In that particular case, the student was excluded and reported back to one of the what we call the ANMAC, which is our Australian Nursing and Midwifery Association, to indicate that this student has undertaken fraudulent activity. Now, that might be difficult for that person because I'm sort of, in some way, affecting the outcome of their future studies, but they have done something that's fraudulent, right? You wouldn't want a nurse to do something fraudulent, right? So, and again, how were we able to pick this up? We were able to pick this up because it was issued after a certain date when we went live, and it did not exist in MyEquals. And so when that comparison came through, it was easy to say, hey, look at this, it's not right. The font's wrong. This is wrong. That is wrong. So they were able to pick it up and change some stuff. Now, again, the thing that I talked about in relation to changing the process, that's taken a bit of time trying to get, the department to come on board. But because of one fraudulent person, we've had to change our process. The other thing that we've really enjoyed from that sort of point of view is revoking. Revoking here was always really problematic because it involved retrieving paperwork and destroying paperwork before we would do anything. It's really simple for us now to revoke a qualification if something changes, right? And again, we have a process here now that we follow, which is we say, hey, according to us, this person has had something changed on their record that impacts an officially a document that we've issued. Yeah, it means the document is no longer valid and we need to revoke that document. So we give the department, sort of the teaching departments, a week to review their records and see if what they've done is 100% correct. And then we will go through the process of revoking. Now, when it was before this, when it was before MyEquals, retrieve the document. Oh, look, so, and who's going to give up their piece of paper? Yeah, who's going to give up the piece of paper, right? And so it was really a difficult exercise. So, but we've been able to make some significant changes, and really quickly and really easily. The other thing that's been great is as one of the people in the senior leadership, I have to provide information about numbers of issued documents, numbers of collected documents. It's made the number of collections really, really simple. I can say 80%. I don't have to go in there and physically count, what's left in my filing cabinets, right? I can look at how many I've revoked and work out why I've revoked them and go back. And if it's the same teaching department, I'm able to say to them, you guys need to review your current practice because this is happening more and more, right? So there's some really, really great things about being able to use the system from a tracking, reporting point of view to educational committees that form part of our structure, yeah? Oh, it's huge saving, absolutely. No. It's been a massive saving. It's been, look, we started the awards department in my department is very small. We have 2.4 EFT. Yeah, we have a manager who manages graduation and the awards department. We have what we call an apprentice coordinator who basically finishes off students in apprentices in another system. Again, there's apprentices here in this country have certain rules, and we have a general admin person. Right, that general admin person is the point four who works 4 hours a day, who used to spend every day printing and stuffing envelopes. Yeah, for documents that the students probably had no idea what they were about, right? That's all gone. They're working on other stuff. They're looking at improving their policy, their processes. It's been for us significant, the savings that we've been able to make, and again, just the improvements and the satisfaction that people are getting from being able to get the stuff quickly and use it as they wish. It's great. For us, it has been the ultimate solution.